Welcome back to English Boost Everyday, everyone. Today's episode is all about mastering the art of small talk, a skill that can transform everyday interactions and boost your social English. And guess what? Yapmanız gereken 5 şeyi öğreneceksin. You're about to discover 5 essential strategies to break the ice. Keep conversations flowing naturally and handle those awkward silences with ease. I'm Michael, your host, and I'm excited to be here with our wonderful guest, Sarah, who is an expert in social communication and practical conversation skills. Let's jump right in.
Hi, everyone. I'm thrilled to join you today. Small talk might seem trivial, but it's the gateway to building connections in both casual and professional settings. Whether you're at a party, networking event, or just running errands, mastering small talk can boost your confidence and help you form genuine relationships. Today, we'll share practical tips, from conversation starters and active listening to role playing exercises, that will equip you with everything you need to navigate social situations with ease.
Let's kick things off with our first essential strategy, mastering conversation starters. One of the most common challenges in small talk is simply not knowing how to begin. Sarah, what are some effective techniques to get the conversation rolling?
Great question, Michael. The key to starting a conversation is to be natural and observant. I suggest preparing a few go-to conversation starters tailored to different situations. For instance, when you're at a social gathering, you might comment on the venue or ask, "What do you think of the event so far?" In a professional setting, try asking about recent industry trends or opinions on a recent project. You can also use compliments. If you notice someone's unique accessory or interesting attire, mention it and ask about it. This not only breaks the ice, but also makes the other person feel appreciated. The idea is to keep your questions open-ended so that the conversation has room to grow.
That's fantastic advice. A well-chosen question can really set the stage for an engaging dialogue. Now, moving on to our second essential strategy, active listening. Effective small talk isn't just about speaking. It's about truly listening to the other person. Sarah, could you explain what active listening entails and why it's so important?
Absolutely, Michael. Active listening means giving your full attention to the speaker and showing that you're engaged in what they're saying. It involves using verbal and nonverbal cues like nodding, maintaining eye contact, and offering brief affirmations like, "I see," or "That's interesting." One useful technique is to paraphrase what the other person has said. For example, "So you mean that?" Or, "It sounds like you really enjoyed." This not only confirms your understanding, but also encourages the other person to elaborate further. Active listening transforms a one-sided monologue into a dynamic conversation, making the interaction more natural and enjoyable.
I couldn't agree more. Active listening is the secret ingredient that turns a basic chat into a meaningful conversation. Now, let's discuss our third essential strategy, role-playing real-life scenarios. Practicing through role-playing can be a game changer for building social confidence. Sarah, what are some role-playing exercises our listeners can try?
Role-playing is indeed very effective, Michael. I recommend pairing up with a friend or using language exchange apps to simulate everyday conversations. For example, practice scenarios like greeting someone at a coffee shop, discussing weekend plans, or even handling a brief conversation at a networking event. Start with scripted dialogues and gradually move to more spontaneous exchanges. You can also record these sessions to review your performance later. Notice areas where you hesitate or use filler words, and work on those until your responses become smooth and natural. Role-playing helps you prepare for unexpected topics and builds the muscle memory needed for fluent conversation.
That's a practical approach. Preparing for real-life interactions in a low-pressure setting really builds confidence. Moving on to our fourth essential strategy, overcoming awkward silences. Many of us fear those moments when the conversation seems to stall. Sarah, how can learners effectively handle and even embrace awkward silences?
Ah, awkward silences. They happen to all of us. The trick is not to panic when they occur. Instead, see them as natural pauses in the conversation. One effective strategy is to prepare a few neutral topics or questions you can use as fallback options. For example, you might ask, What's a hobby you're passionate about? Or, have you read any interesting books lately? Another tip is to comment on your surroundings. This can help steer the conversation back on track. Also, remember that it's perfectly fine to have a brief silence. It gives both parties a moment to reflect and think about what to say next. With practice, you'll find that silences become less intimidating and more of a natural part of the dialogue.
That's a great perspective. Seeing silences as opportunities rather than obstacles can really change your mindset. And finally, let's talk about our fifth essential strategy: incorporating expert tips and feedback. Learning from experts and receiving constructive feedback can accelerate your progress in mastering small talk. Sarah, what advice would you give to learners in this regard?
Expert advice can provide valuable insights that you might not discover on your own. I suggest seeking out resources such as podcasts, YouTube channels, or online courses dedicated to communication skills. Additionally, joining local clubs or online forums where you can practice small talk with others is a great idea. These environments not only offer practice, but also allow you to receive feedback on your conversational style. Don't be afraid to ask for advice, whether from a language tutor or a native speaker, about how you can improve your fluency and confidence. The key is to view every conversation as a learning opportunity. With time, constructive feedback will help you fine-tune your approach and develop a natural, engaging conversational style.
Let's quickly recap the 5 essential things you must do to master small talk and build confident conversations. 1. Master conversation. Starters. Use open-ended questions, personalized compliments, and situational observations to break the ice. 2. Practice active listening. Engage fully with your conversation partner by using verbal and nonverbal cues and paraphrase to show understanding. 3. Role-play real-life scenarios. Simulate everyday interactions through role-playing exercises to build fluency and confidence. 4. Overcome awkward silences. Prepare fallback topics and view pauses as natural moments for reflection. 5. Incorporate expert tips and feedback. Seek out resources, join conversation groups, and welcome constructive criticism to refine your skills.
Exactly, Michael. By applying these 5 strategies, you'll transform your approach to small talk. Remember, small talk isn't just about filling the silence. It's about creating genuine connections and making conversations enjoyable. With consistent practice, you'll notice that initiating and sustaining dialogues becomes more natural and less stressful.
Before we wrap up today's episode, I want to encourage all our listeners to start implementing these tips immediately. Whether you're at a party, a networking event, or just chatting with a coworker, every conversation is an opportunity to practice and improve. Take the time to experiment with different conversation starters. Practice active listening, and don't be afraid to try role-playing exercises with friends or language partners. Your progress in social English depends on the effort you put in, and every step forward is a win.
Absolutely. Embrace every interaction as a chance to learn and grow. Even if a conversation doesn't go perfectly, it's all part of the learning process. Over time, these small efforts will add up, and you'll see a significant improvement in your conversational skills. Remember, building confidence in small talk takes time, but with persistence and practice, you'll get there.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Sarah, and thank you to all our listeners for tuning in. If you found today's episode helpful, please check out our previous videos on speaking, listening, vocabulary, and writing to further enhance your English journey. We update our channel daily with fresh, engaging content, so be sure to visit every day.
Yes, please remember to subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode, like this video if you enjoyed it, and share it with your friends. Your support helps our community grow and motivates us to continue delivering practical language tips and expert advice.
That's right. So as you leave today's session, keep these 5 essential strategies in mind. Master your conversation starters, practice active listening, engage in role-playing, overcome awkward silences, and incorporate expert feedback. With these tools, you'll be well on your way to building confident, natural conversations that make your social interactions more enjoyable and effective.
Keep practicing, stay curious, and remember that every conversation is a step towards becoming a more fluent and confident English speaker. Your journey in social English is just beginning, and every effort you make brings you closer to success.
Thank you again for joining us on Small Talk Secrets. Master social English and build confident conversations now. Don't forget to check out our previous episodes for more actionable language tips, subscribe for daily updates, and share this podcast with your friends and family. Together, we're building a vibrant community of confident English speakers.
Goodbye, everyone. Stay inspired, keep engaging in conversations, and we'll see you in the next episode with more dynamic insights and practical tips.
Until next time, this is Michael, with Sarah by my side, signing off. Have an amazing day, and keep unlocking the secrets of small talk.